Fucking forgot gloves. You're not going to hear any sound alerts, Hector. But how you doing, bud? Hi, DM. Sound alerts aren't going to work. What oil did I get on? Okay. Good. Sounds good, Drez. Oh, fuck you, Maddie. No, you, once again, you are supposed to be changing your sleep schedule. All right. So here's my handy dandy notebook where I keep track of my batches. It's been a while since I made paint. It's been like 5 months, 4 months. No, you are mistaken. You are mistaken. Where's my last yellow? Nope. There's no way I'm wrong. Okay. There's just no way. Where the fuck? How you doing? Hi, how you doing, Omizu? That's why I had that closed off. Do I have to find my previous sheets? Find the oil, how much oil I used. Looks like it. Can someone tell me what the date is? The 7th? Thank you, Jess. You gotta document, everybody. Mix bismuth, lemon yellow. All right, let me go. I gotta go find this paper with my previous measurements on this for paint. One moment. Okay. Okay. All right, I saw the oil absorption rate was 32. So I'll have to keep that in mind. I'm probably going to start off with 25 though. 32 seems a lot. So that's 32 grams of oil per 100 grams of pigment. And then we're going to add aluminum stearate. We're going to do 2 grams of aluminum stearate. Per 100 grams of oil we use. Science from the crickets. Hey, this is how paint making is done. So, what I don't recall is how many grams of pigment per tube of paint, but thankfully I have that listed on my tube. On the label itself, 54 54 Jesus Christ. Good. Still working. That's good. Okay. All right, so we have to measure everything. This is the fun part, everybody. Yeah, no sounds will be working, everybody. I'm streaming from my cell phone. I'm streaming from my cell phone. Okay. So let's get on the mask and start seeing how much pigment. So let's just say roughly 60 grams of pigment per tube. I guess I want to aim to make at least 25 tubes. Does anyone want to see the equipment I'm using? Fire that bot. I can't. Doesn't work. Here, you guys can see Kevin now. See Kevin? He's watching you. He knows. He knows. Let's wipe up a few of this shit off though. Got a lot of random shit on here. Okay, the surface was dirtier than I thought. We should clean this all off. He absolutely does. He's told me. He's also sold that information to the North Koreans. Kevin won't go away, everybody. You give a guy Quaaludes and Four Locos once and he never leaves. Sorry, I didn't realize I should have cleaned this beforehand. I didn't realize how dirty this fucking was. This is part of the pain in the butt. That is paint making. You got to make sure everything's fucking clean, or else you'll contaminate your color. And lemon yellow is a very sensitive color. Some colors not so much, like burnt umber. Not the biggest deal. But like lemon yellow, one of those brilliant colors, like the really... You don't want to risk it. I think there's some lamp black and a blue on my shit. But I think this was from the oil pastels. See, it's still... Yeah, once the weather basically starts getting into the 50s regularly, Maddie, or I could plan for that reliably. Also, I do have to wait for shit to start growing again. Sorry, we're still cleaning. Still cleaning, everybody. Remember, Maddie, you asked for this. You did this, Maddie. You did this. Okay. Let's do one last wipe off with a rag. So the best thing for cleaning paint or pigment is microfiber cloths, everybody. However, you kind of got to throw them out after a few uses, unfortunately. But it's good to give everything a wipe down with some solvent. Before you start. Okay. All right, let's start getting getting pigment in. Okay, so the equipment I have, everybody, I have my oils. So there's going to be some stand oil, some linseed oil, some aluminum stearate that go into this. Aluminum stearate is this white powder, okay? I have bleached linseed oil and stand oil. We're going to try and add about 4%, 3 to 4% stand oil for every, so 3 grams of stand oil for every 100 grams of oil. We have an oil absorption rate of 32, but that might change. I might have to add a little bit more oil than usual because of the aluminum stearates that I added in a different way. We're doing it with straight powder this time. So and I want to aim to make at least 25 tubes. I also have empty tubes. I don't have my pliers over here, but I can find those later. So if it's roughly 60 grams of pigment per tube, and I want to make 25, that's 1,500 grams of pigment at least. Okay, so we got our scale over here. Gotta make sure this is on, that was grams, there we go. All right, let's start measuring. So that's 182. I got my N95 mask on. I'll dump that. And then we'll remeasure the weights. Said it was 182 beforehand. Minus 53. So that's 129 grams of pigment there. We're doing Bismuth, Vanadate, Yellow, Lemon. And we're trying to do a big batch of it. But I don't want to blatantly use up all my pigment, because in case I need to make watercolors or pastels again. It's 326. Okay. 326 minus 54. 272. Isn't this exciting, everybody? Isn't this exciting? This is paint making, yo. This is how I make paint. No, I still got about 5 sets. Not counting mine though. Like, I haven't used my own pastels yet because I have the other ones I'm using. Oh, are you working today, Maddie? Do you normally work Saturdays? Okay. 372 on that one. So there is a 50-gram difference between these tubs, unopened tubs. I work Tuesdays through Saturdays. Oh, okay. Good to know. Okay. The stream just ended out of nowhere. Is the connection bad? 54, 318. So where are we at? $290, $590, $690. $719. Yeah, it's just my cell phone just said stream broadcast has ended. So hopefully this isn't a. You might want to warn Salt and everybody with their streaks. I am working off of Wi-Fi, so keep your name out of my mouth. Hey, all right. If you don't want me to care about your streak, how you doing, Salt? 323. Good. God, this is looking like a lot of pigment. Maybe we'll just roll with this amount. Yeah, don't do emote only mode. 55, 368. 268, I mean grams. 900, 987. All right, we'll use one more. We're not gonna, I don't have 1,500 grams, huh? I don't have that many. I need to keep one tube behind. Or one tub behind. So we're just gonna go with what we have. There's a big variance in these tubs. This is a company that goes by volume. So one of these tubs had literally 50 grams more than others. 330. But these tubs are getting, I mean, this is the, I bought these before the prices went up. But the tubs of these have literally cost double, and I am going to have to raise the price on these. How you doing, Yambari? Son of a bitch, Salt. Well, yeah. I'm not a fan of travel, especially business travel. The first time was like kind of fun, but I was only at a place for a day. Okay. I'm doing all right, Yambari. I don't feel like doing this, but I have to, right? 54, 376 or 276. So 387, 316, 10, 12. So we have 1,263 grams of pigment. 1,263 grams of pigment. It really is. At least lately it is, Yambari. Okay. All right. So if we're going, let's just go with a standard oil absorption rate of with the aluminum, we're going to go 30. We're going to go 30 grams of oil per 100 grams of pigment. That means we need 360 plus 18. So 378 grams of oil. If I want 4% bodied oil, that means I need 15 grams of stand oil. Stand oil. And if I have a 10% mixture of that, that means I need 150 of the mixture. So that means 120 or 228 regular oil. And then if I'm doing 2% aluminum stearate, I need, we're going to do 8 grams of aluminum stearate. 8 grams of aluminum stearate. Okay. This is why we document, everybody. This is why we document. Here's the trade secrets, everybody, to make badly made paint. There you go. All right, that's all you get. Oh, there's math, Yambari. There's math. Okay, so here I have a mixture of 10% stand oil to 90% linseed oil, and this is probably gonna be. Oh, I got it open. Okay. So could have done this actually the other way. So this is how I control how much stand oil I add, because there's 10% of it. So for every gram of that, or every 100 grams I add of that, 10 of that is stand oil. So hear that. Okay, so we need 150 of the mix. I'll record our actuals. It's okay if we go a little bit over on this. Okay, 151 mix. Then we got regular 228, so it's going to bring us up to 378 total. Now, I expect that I'm going to have to add more oil to this. Okay, we ended up at 379. So batch is ruined. Now we add the aluminum stearates. Which we need 8 grams of. So let's tear this. This shit's light. Oh, that was 6. Okay. Okay, there's 8. Go a little bit. You know what? We're going to add 9. We're going to add 9. So why do we add aluminum stearate, everybody? Why do we add aluminum stearate? We're going to leave this oil out in case we need to add extra. Okay, it's one of those days, everybody. My connection keeps dropping, Salt. It's like that Clem Garden day. Okay. Make sure this is locked down enough. Start off slow. Start off slow. Who knows? Who knows? go one notch higher. They're probably already using it for it. Don't you boo me! No! Stop it! Okay, so we are pretty dry. It's not like coming together. So we are going to add more oil. That was 2 grams. To help bring it together. So we're at 5 grams. Currently at 5 grams. Sorry, 6. Yeah, sometimes it takes a little bit for the pigment to wet. But sometimes it needs some juice. Here, we're just gonna. And I went light on the oil. I went light on the oil. For the initial mix. And sometimes it just needs force. No, that's picking up, guys. We're gonna see how dry this is. So it's not that dry, but sometimes it like so like I could feel clumps of it, but the clumps aren't like wetting yet enough to like wet other pigment. But there's a lot of, I think there's a lot of oil at the bottom, or stuff at the bottom. I'm wearing a mask. I'm wearing a mask. Well, we're going to keep on adding oil. We've had to add a lot. But we might give it a few more minutes too to like wet through. Well, this isn't coming together as much as I thought it would with how much oil I've had. Picking up some dust. It's not coming together. There's like oil on a lot of the pigment. I don't like how much this has come up. The dust. That's why you leave on your mask until you know it's the pigment is bound. Like if I were to smush it together, it would start, it's like a shaggy dough. This is probably one of the most annoying things about the stand mixer. Well, what just happened? Okay. I think we're getting it close for it to come together. Welcome back, everybody. Well, that's cool. Keep on getting disconnected, huh? Yeah, well, I'm streaming from my phone. And streaming from Wi-Fi. This is Bismuth yellow. Oh, I hate when that happens. Don't have a great stand mixer, everybody. No, it's fine. It's happened before. Let's, this is a lot of pigment. So, you know what's funny? I suspect companies add a little bit of solvent to this point to help dispersion. I suspect. But I don't have evidence of that. It probably would, Maddie. Because you see, this is like a big hard clump. So like chopping it up a little bit. Adding some more oil. Welcome back. Everything's going fine here. Wrong way. Wrong way. Things going out of control today. We're so close. Did I break something on this stand? Because now it feels loose. I think I did. Fuck. Did I fuck this up? Feels like I broke a latch that locks the this shit in. That's not good. Fucking A. Oh, that's not good. Well, let's we're gonna have to do it manually until I figure out what's going on with this, because that's just gonna happen again. What do I have that can help me with this? I need to mix it more. I need to mix it more. How you doing, Ibis? Oh, is it just that? I have ideas. I don't know if it's a great one. The problem is it will still move. I won't be able to hold it steady, Pickles. We gotta do this the manual way, everybody. Fuck. I hope I don't have to fucking replace the stand mixer now. But maybe I can get a larger one, who knows. Okay, so there is some random ass color there. Okay, good to know. Where did that color come from? I can't click on the link, Salt. I know. That's what I need, Amanda. But frankly, that crash was probably going to become more likely because of larger batches. Like I said, that's happened before, as I wasn't that panicked about it. But this was the exact. But I clearly need a more powerful stand mixer because it would make the process a lot easier. This is what makes paint making, though, like when you have these situations where you have to do some stuff by hand, that makes this a lot harder. So I was hoping this would go smoother, but it didn't. So now I'm making sure my surface is clean. So we're just going to pound the shit out of it with this metal rod in the bowl until we get some of that like oil shearing through the pigment. So that's the plan as of right now. Well, you're welcome. You're welcome, Giambri. You get to see what I have done for hours upon hours before. So now we're going to scrape off this. You guys don't have a good view, do you? So this is why cleanup is like a pain in the balls. Now you might be asking, why am I using the dough knife? Because good luck getting paint out of a whisk, or even the whisk starting to plow through it. But you need more than just like a dough, there's like the dough blades. You need more going on than that. But there's a lot of paint on here still, so we got to get that off. This connection thing is really annoying. I was hoping I could put this to YouTube without issue, but now it's probably going to be miserable to put onto YouTube. So I guess this is a Twitch exclusive, everybody. This is going to be a Twitch exclusive. You are special, Amanda. Despite the stream going out every 5 minutes. I could. Do I want to spend 5 hours on it? Is the thing, Carlos. Do I want to spend that time on it? Okay, so now we scrape down the edges. We could scrape this off some more. Yeah, we're gonna use this metal rod that I have over here, and we're gonna beat the shit out of this to help disperse the oil in here before we take it to the machine, so we don't have to add too much oil to this to get it to, you know, I fear I've already added too much oil, but it's kind of the wild card of the aluminum stearate in dry form. Forbidden buttercream. It's a lot more dense. You know, I'm making over 3 pounds of paint here. Just all pigment, mind you. So what's the difference, right? What's the difference between me and like Winsor and Newton, right? Winsor and Newton probably would have used less than half the pigment I used. They were replaced it with chalk and wax. They probably would have used safflower oil instead of linseed oil. They wouldn't have used any stand oil. And that's what have been the major differences. So, but this is what you get when you have just all pigment. And now we're going to start smashing the shit out of it, because this is not going to be exhausting whatsoever or messy. Or harder than I expected. Let's get the workout in today, everybody. I could feel the aluminum stearate texture on it. Ooh. That's like very stiff. Okay, that's even that hard to pull out with that much paint on there. I wonder how much this will loosen out with the machine. Because right now it's obviously way too thick. Boy, is that. God, I feel like this is going to loosen up. How do I want to do this? It's like very cold frozen ice cream right now is the texture. It's getting all over my hands, which is normal. Looks like there was some shit on the bottom of that. I would if I wasn't going to lose like a tube's worth of paint by doing that. But that's a problem. Every time I... Well, that didn't work. Let's do it the other way we know. Oh my god, a raid! Sorry, it's hard for me to see shit right now. Welcome in, post your links. Oh. Boy, is this shit sticky. Fucking aluminum stearate. Make sure you don't wear clothes that you care about when you do this, okay? So right now I'm wearing my mother's wedding dress. All right, so just make sure you wear clothes that don't matter. All right, everybody? I wish I wasn't having these connection issues, huh? In my own home. But that's what you get for streaming off your phone, huh? God, aluminum stearate makes the texture so interesting. Well, this stream's unwatchable, I bet. Sorry, everybody. We're disconnecting like every minute. Salt, has Mud gotten her streak? Anyone who cares about your streaks, go take care of it, because I don't know if this is, with my connection like this, if my stream is just even doable at this moment. Well, I appreciate it. Oh, fucking shit. Right now I'm just scraping the bowl off of everything, so we're trying to clean up the bowl. Because despite there not being a lot in there, could still be close to like a quarter of a tube of paint, which I don't like to give up on that easily. Okay. Oh. All right. See that? So I pretty much cleaned up as much as we can. And now, I guess we'll do a little bit more scraping on this. So, might have broken the stand mixer today, everybody. So that's good. And I don't have another one. And I haven't seen one at thrift shops. Okay, so also when I put that in there, I put a little solvent in there just to loosen up the bottom. Okay. All right, do you know what the manual way is, everybody? I'm taking off my mask. Okay. Of getting this ready for the machine. It's very pleasant. It is great. It is great what we have to do. What I'm going to do is literally just mush it manually like this, all of it, to help push and disperse the oil before we put in the machine. And this should loosen it up enough, but it's a little bit annoying, not a little bit, a lot annoying to do this. And we're going to go through this entire pile. Until we're comfortable that it's not like a big clump but more of a stiff paste. So we're ensuring that it's a paste, essentially, right now. My arm's already tired. You know what? This might be better for that. We'll see. Problem is it bends too much and I gotta use my finger. I don't know if I like how that's working. So what I want to avoid is adding oil in the machine when I'm milling this. I want it to be soft enough, but sometimes paints loosen up more than you expect them to. So it's like the first test, and this is what's really unfortunate about my stand mixer being a fucking dick, is it's usually, can you get it in the stand mixer at like a mixable point and not like a clump of shit? And we were still at the clump phase. But I think this pile is there. Oh, this is making my shoulder tired. Is the quality at least all right on the stream, or is it like what's it? What's the right word? Is there like interference and shit? It's good. So it's just disconnecting all out of the blue for y'all. Right as I read, but not terrible from you, Omizu. Disconnects right in my face. Oh, you guys just missed me breaking a palette knife. Because I'm so immensely strong and toxic, I broke a palette knife. That's not a place I've broken one from before either. Well, that's good. That was a good palette knife too. Not like it was expensive, but just I like the shape. It might be a cursed stream, everybody. Broke a palette knife, possibly broke the stand mixer. I found out I didn't get accepted to Harvard. Yeah, you see that? This is how it broke. Kevin's right there. Oh, hold on. There's Kevin. Fucking Kevin. I have yet to break a palette knife like that before. That was a very interesting break. Usually the metal snaps from wear, not the wood. You blame Kevin's presence? Maybe. I honestly haven't had a lot of... Don't get me wrong, I'm very fortunate in my life with my family and so forth, but man, have I had a lot of things not go well for the past, like, year and a half. Sounds good, Amanda. Yeah, I know. I just would have liked some lucky things to happen. I don't think I need those for any reason, Odorous, but I appreciate the offer. Okay, almost there. Almost there. Well, I can only hope, Pickles. I need to get a second palette knife. I would like, I can guarantee I'm going to keep on battling through this bad connection, everybody, until we get to the machine. I don't know how much you'll be able to hear me during the machine, but I'll try, show you a good amount of that. But I still have, with, tubing and everything like that, I don't know if we'll get... The machining is probably going to take 2 to 3 hours. So... Probably closer to 3. So I can't guarantee that I'll, continue to stream through all that, depending on connection and if you can even hear me enough, or if the sound's too annoying for you. But I do want to show you all that, how that works. But I have to get through this bullshit first. But maybe the machining will go a lot easier. Who knows? It won't speed it up necessarily, but it would be nice if I didn't have to battle the machine the whole fucking time. Which can happen. How many tubes do I have here? I don't know if I even will have 20. We'll see. I was really hoping for 25, but I didn't have enough pigment. Don't let the machine win. Fucker's tough. If I had to mold this all by hand, that would be awful. And unfortunately, this is one of the pigments that probably got hit hardest by tariffs, everybody. With tariffs. So I literally might have to raise the tube of price by like $4 or $5 on this one. Where's that one come from? I don't know. It's just that what I've anecdotally seen from the prices that I can get it at Pickles, the prices on the pigment nearly doubled in the past year from the places that sourced it. And it's not a tremendously high yield pigment. The yield's not terrible. It's better than cadmiums, for example. But cadmiums didn't really get hit hard by tariffs. But I really don't want to make cadmiums because I don't want to deal with the risk of that dust. Okay. All right, we just smushed our way through all that paint, everybody. All right, now we're on machine time. That's just terrific, yeah. It is. Oh, fuck. All right, so this is the machine. I call it's named Bert Kreischer. I've named this machine Bert Kreischer because I hate it so much. Well, that's the view you're going to have to settle with then. What's the best view? Is that the best view? In Spearhead. Well, where is the pigment made? Is the pigment made in in Texas, Odorous? Okay, so first thing we need to do, well, there's two things we need to do to set up. We got to get this blade. So we turn it on with this button. Okay, that's how we turn it on. All right, so we got to put these thingamajigs on these screws to help keep the paint within an area so it doesn't go over the rollers. And you try and make this as symmetrical as possible. And you use these thingamajigs clamp down on them. All right. Now, so that's in there. Okay, so now this, you see this? This has to go against there. We use these screws to put it symmetrical, but you want these screws, it's imperative that these screws are even. So I do a little bit one forward at a time until it moves it forward. And then we start it. That one's already tight. And you can kind of hear it a little bit because it's literally scraping against this surface, okay? We control how close these are together with these knobs here and here, and there's two in the back as well. So, I don't know what my last pigment was in here, but we're going to take a little bit of it and we're going to put it in here and see how it goes. And we adjust these doodads to make it tighter or not. And you put it through again. And it should start loosening up. But I don't have pliers. I also got a tray underneath here to catch others. It is loosening up a bit. Loosened up a lot. It became, yeah, wow, okay. So this might actually have too much oil in it. We'll see. So these seem a little bit loose. Back here. So I'm going to unscrew this a little bit. There we go. This might be pretty quick on the machine actually. We're going to feed more in here. Feed some of this old paint. Crack it up a little bit. Maybe we do have to tighten this up a little bit. It's not grabbing enough, so I have to tighten this up a little bit. There we go. Well, we might have added too much oil to this, everybody. Fucking shit. See how much that shit loosened up? God bless America. We gotta loosen this up a little bit now. I don't like how loose this is. It's too loose. But see now how it's glossy? See how much that changed? God damn it, there's too much oil. I can add more pigment. I don't know what to do. Should we just have oily tubes? So this was thick enough to break my fucking stand mixer earlier. I don't even know where to... How am I going to do this? I mean, we just got to live with it. I need something to put this on to catch it. Yeah, I wish I could do that. I don't like this texture. But look at how much this loosens up. Not later, I'd have to do it now. I'd have to do it now, Pickles. But I don't have a lot of this pigment left. We just might just have a looser batch, unfortunately. It turned shiny because the oil's dispersing. Now, this pigment was never difficult on the machine. I just... Oh, God. The stand mixer fucked me today. This is not... It still works as paint. It's just way too... Just way too much oil for my taste. Well, nobody's going to have to add any medium to this. Yeah, it's alright, Pickles. I mean, it'll be less time on this machine. No, this isn't... Oh, I mean, I could do that. I mean, I could add... Chalk would probably be the easiest thing to add to this, but I don't want to. It's just going to be loose. I'll warn people. It's not like the paint's still going to work perfectly fine. It's not what I usually have. Was parchment paper the way to go? I don't know. Hi, Timo. Let's just keep on rolling with this. Oh. Sorry, hold on. I'm working on... I need... I'm wasting... paint. Parchment paper did not work out like I wanted it to, everybody. And because of that, I'm probably wasting a good amount of paint. It's alright. 1 second, everybody. I just made a fucking mess. Because I thought this would work better than it did. Things are just going great here. How to practice. I'm back. All right. I'm fine that I did this today. I just wish I didn't fuck up on multiple things. Breaking shit. My stream's disconnecting all the time. Broke a palette knife. You know, possibly breaking my stand mixer. And then the paint being too oily. And then wasting paint too now. It's all right. It's not your fault. It's mine. I have to learn from this. No, I still would have made paint today. I just wouldn't. I probably might not have streamed it. Streaming's not a big deal. I'm just annoyed. I am annoyed that it keeps on disconnecting. I wish it was thicker, Timo. I wish it was thicker. Got a lot of cleanup. I'm gonna have to clean the fuck out of this knife now. Yeah, a lot of people would, and the machine is now going to go a lot faster because of how much oil that is. It's just not paint up to my standard. But I have to use it. I have to sell it. You know, you saw me just, like, I put, I don't know, $200 worth of pigment into this. And probably $20 worth of oil. Thank you, Timo. Yeah, we're disconnecting a lot because I'm streaming from my phone. So sometimes for these batches, I would have to do this about 20 more times through the machine. This is also a really unforgiving pigment with regards to oil. Bismuth, Vanadate, Yellow Lemon. So it's like the moment you add too much oil, it's way too much oil, Timo. It doesn't have like a linear relationship with how much oil you add with how its viscosity. Yeah, DM, there's pigments that are like you add oil and it linearly changes. That means there's like an expected amount. And then there's a few that once you get over a certain saturation point, it turns into like a honey. And bismuth is one of them. Titanium white's kind of like that too. See, like this is it. This is this paint, everybody, beforehand. You see this? Now see how it changes. I just know it, DM. I just know because I've done this 30 plus times on this machine, you know. And I've made bismuth yellows 20 times. It was like that with the Muller as well. Can you guys hear me all right? Like, is the noise too bad with the machine? Like, DM, is your stuff picking my voice up well enough? Like, it sounds like it's picking up my words well. Okay. Thank you, Pickles. Alright, good, Jamboree. Yeah. Perfect. It seemed like it was understanding me well, DM. I just want to make sure. Based on how you were responding. So the machines that companies use are probably 10 times larger than this. Maybe even like 15. And then those rollers are squeezed together using hydraulics. So they get better pressure. And more volume. So they can do pigments like phthalo blue, Prussian blue, quinacridone magenta, lamp black a lot better and faster than me, for example. So it takes me more effort, you know. This has water cooling on it as well. It's just not needed for this. Listen to a word I say. Very good view of it before. Nope, you're going to have bismuth yellow and you're going to like it. should. You should, DM. Yeah, I get you, DM. Know the truth, man, very nice. We're back. We're back. Thank you, Timo. Don't do it, Amanda. Think about all the acquaintances that might miss you. Back again. is the last batch. Last batch. There's one more thing I need to check before I start cleaning this off, and it's the drip pan. See that? I could never. No, this is being done. This is all AI right now. Okay. So now it's time for us to clean this off. Think about where I could put this. Well, all right. First off, what we got to do, we got to remove these things. Okay. And we're going to clean off that paint later. See, there's a lot of paint on that. Okay. Then we're going to, I need paper towels. Okay. So now we are going to unscrew the knife and remove it. This is all part of the shit we got to clean. This is why this is a pain in the butt, mind you. Okay. And just there we go. There's a lot of paint on the side and the bottom that we got to clean off too. Okay. Fortunately, a lot of that got on my fingers. So that's just wasted paint. Now there's paint on my wrist, so that's good. Okay, so now Jesus Christ. Where's all this paint coming from? Okay, I see this, where the drip pan was on that last unfortunate take. Little paint here adds character. Okay, so now we got to scrape off these rollers. This part's easy because you just turn it back on and you just go opposite. Of how the rollers are going. Settle down, Amizu. You just get as much. Probably tighten these up a little bit. There you go. So now, what we do now, you have to be careful because some of these angles will try and pull the rag in, but we're going to do a first pass through. So this back one is the one you got to be careful about because it wants to pull you into this first one here. We're going to do it one more time with paper towels. Okay. Now, we're going to use one of the microfiber cloths. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out, DM. With a little bit more solvent. Okay. And that pretty much does the job of cleaning it. See? And then we'll just wipe up here. That's good. Okay. Let's move the camera. So I'm going to show you one more thing before we call it a stream. Well, do I need to show you? Does anyone care about seeing the tubing process? Oh. You do? Okay. That's fine. We'll figure it out. Well, then I got to clean up my space a little bit more. So let's start cleaning off some of this shit. So I have space to do that. I need a bigger palette knife. Do I have another one over here that's larger? Not really. Let me go get a bigger palette knife. One moment. God, this got paint everywhere. I don't know if it being liquidy makes it easier or harder to clean. It gets everywhere. But let's just clean off these little bastards. Just scrape them off. Let's paint the town yellow. I got a lot of paint to do it. It's really annoying to corral up all this paint, you know? It's why this gets messy. Because it just like gets on your hand, it goes somewhere else. This knife got exceptionally dirty, you can see. So just setting this down somewhere will make that area dirty. But there's a lot of paint that you need to collect near the bottom of this blade. I don't know how some got down there. I've never had that before. We're going to need more yellow. We're going to need a bigger mill. I'm worried I didn't make enough. Because I didn't have enough pigment. Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot, Timo. See, look at how much came off of that edge right there. Any bit I can scrape off is stuff I don't have to clean and waste, you know? think that's the best I can scrape off without being nuts. I used to think you were crazy, but now I can see you're nuts. Oh, thank you. That's my one Austin Powers quote of the day. Okay, scraped off. Scraped off. Okay. All right, let's go to tubing. Way too much of you. Annoyed with myself still. Like, it's not terrible, it's just too much. So, first off, we have to do a couple. We have to figure out our volume and how much 41 milliliters weighs. Okay, so how do we do that? How do we do that? Well, first off, oh, that's probably the wrong end. Nope, not with our penises. Our penises are obviously thousands of magnitudes larger than that. Okay, so we have our tubes, our empty tubes here, right? Let's measure how much one of these weighs. 7 grams, okay? Tube is 7 grams. Okay, now I have this plastic syringe. Mainly for drug use, but I also use it for paint. So this goes up to 60 grams, but I can't suck up the paint through this tube. So what we do is we cut off the front, okay? With our handy dandy kitchen knife, okay? So we're gonna cut. Sorry, we filled it up to 10 milliliters. This keeps on falling off the sides. This is easily like the most liquidy paint I've made. Okay. Wipe off the sides a little bit. This paint's moving around a lot. I don't like it. Okay, so we roughly have 10 milliliters in here. Okay. And then some manages to come off the top of it. Love that. Okay. Now we're going to measure the weight of 10 milliliters, everybody. The weight of 10 milliliters is roughly 48 grams. What does that mean? That means 1 milliliter is roughly 2 grams. Have fun, Pickles. Okay. So 1 milliliter is essentially 2 grams, but we're going to do this again. We're going to go down to 20, and we're going to measure at 20 to give ourselves a higher level of accuracy on our calculation. And that's how I figure out how much paint to put in a tube. And I do this on unique to every batch. So we'll measure this. 71. We're a little heavy on this one, I think. Or 70. 70 is fine. So we're at 70, which means that we are 22 grams for 10. So I think it's safe to say between 20 milliliters, we have 42 grams, so 21 per 10. So for 41, I need 84 plus 2, so 86 plus 7. So a full tube should weigh 93 grams. Full tube should weigh 93 grams. And that's how we figure it out, everybody. Unfortunately, I can't use the syringe to fill. Any questions? Good, no questions. I do need to get this parchment paper out of here that broke off. Of course, this is just being awful. So we're going to fill up one tube, everybody, and then I'm probably going to turn off the stream and take a little break. I think is the plan. So much wasted paint. But this is how I make paint, everybody. I usually don't break my stand mixer and a palette knife and make the paint too oily, but if anything, I usually make the paint not oily enough. All right, so we need 93 grams of paint in one of these tubes. And so we just fill it. This is going to be annoying fill. Ugh. Maybe not that one. Because I don't want it dripping all over the sides. Let's go with the small guy. This is how tubes of badly made paint are filled, everybody. By hand, with hate. Then we measure, we're at 75. Need 3 more grams. 95, take a little scoop out. And then we'll be good to go. I can, if I find, let me look for my pliers and I can show you how I close them. Oh wait, I gotta clean up the sides too. You gotta clean up the edges. So we clean off the edges. Now we're going to wipe down the tube. And let me find my pliers and I'll show you how I close these things down. Okay. So that's, we're at 93 exactly. One moment. Thankfully they were right here. So now we just bend it to one side. You get it flat here, okay? Squeeze out any paint that squeezes through. Then we take our pliers and try and go in a straight line above it, and then we bend it forward. Okay? And clamp this down with the pliers. And now we do it one more time. Bend it over again. Clamp on the flat and do it one more time. And clamp. And there you go. We got a sealed tube of paint. Okay? That's one tube of badly made paint. I have labels for it. But, everybody, this is where I leave you. Sorry for all the connection issues. But I'm just going to spend the rest of my day tubing and labeling and cleaning. Alright? Yeah, you're welcome, Timo. Well, the connection did take away my ability to make this like a YouTube video, I think, so that's annoying. But regardless, we'll figure it out. Yeah, everybody, that's it. Have a good one. Greenbag, I'll see you in hell. Amanda, Timo, Maddie, thanks for hanging out. Shasta, DM, Jamboree, Omizu. Yeah. Till next time, we'll see you soon.